William, look, fresh peaches.
Oh, I prefer my fresh peach.
We'll show you how to get both next on Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. We're at Bauman's Farm and Garden and peaches are in. And later in the show, I'll be talking to Brian about the varieties that they have and how to pick the perfect peach.
We'll also be talking to Christine about how they make some delicious cider from those peaches and how you can taste several varieties of that today.
Also coming up in the show today, we'll talk about evapotranspiration and what that means.
But coming up first, how you can build a backyard habitat.
I am standing in a beautiful garden. It's actually a certified backyard habitat, and I'm with Trudy, whose lovely yard this is. Hello.
Thank you.
How did you get involved in having your garden and your yard certified?
Well, when we purchased this property, it was overrun really with ivy and juniper, and we heard about some classes through the Multnomah County Soil and Water District. We took some classes and we learned about naturescaping and rain gardens, and that just kind of got us started.
You really have so many different plants. Do you have a favorite one or something about you would like to talk about?
Well, we've always enjoyed the woodland look, and we have quite a few wild ginger, and I think that's one of my favorite plants.
Those are so cool, and I think really underused and great ground cover.
Yes, and they've really taken off in this habitat.
Nice. And then I see you have a photograph here, and so this is a beautiful poster that you kind of are educating the neighborhood to.
Well, we thought we'd put something up. We were really happy when we finally got certified, and we really enjoy bird watching, and we've attracted a lot of birds into the property, and so occasionally I put up some photos of some birds that are really regular visitors to our property.
And you said that this went in a year ago, and I can't believe the size of the plants here. So really it's been easy to take care of, and they're growing just wonderful.
It's been very easy to take care of. The plants have absolutely thrived and multiplied, and we've just been really happy with the results.
Well, it really shows how beautiful it is. Well, now I'm going to talk to someone that is really in charge of this area, and she can give us all the details about how we can all get involved in this. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
So in case we want to get involved in this, what do we have to do? How do we start?
You start at going to our website, which is backyardhabitats.org, and you sign up, and it's a $35 one-time fee. And if you're in the city of Lake Oswego, you'll get connected with me, and I'll come out and do a site visit.
And so then what would we be accomplishing here? What do you want to do to this garden to make it part of the certification?
Well, we come out, and I usually spend about an hour and a half with my homeowners, and we walk around the yard. We look at invasive plants. We look at how much native plants they have or possible areas to add natives. We also look at vegetation layers, because birds really tune in on that when they come into an area. It's very important for them. We look at pesticide use. We even look at stormwater runoff. And then we also look at habitat options like brush piles and snags and dead wood. That is great habitat for wildlife.
So you want to be attracting the good ones.
Yep.
And really enriching everyone's life in that the neighborhood.
Right. And the bottom line of the program is actually bringing in more insects.
Oh, sure.
Because 96% of bird species feed their young insects. So even seed eaters really need a good insect population.
Oh, that is interesting. And you can tell from Trudy, she's saying that she's attracting all kinds of birds, and she's really enjoying that.
Right. That's definitely a case with most of our homeowners. They definitely see an increase in birds.
Lovely. Cindy, you mentioned about native plants, and so does the whole garden and landscape have to become native?
No, we have 3 levels of certification, and at our silver level, we only ask that you find 5% of your plantable space in natives, and gold would be 15%, and then our kind of premium platinum level would be 50%. But most people, it's pretty easy to find a corner where you can just do 5% native.
What kind of benefits do the homeowners get for being involved in this?
The homeowners will actually be able to take advantage of 2 plant sales that we offer every year just for our people in the program, and they will get plants at wholesale prices. When I visit homeowners, I give them a packet with coupons, and they get a lovely sign if they're in progress, or they get their habitat sign when they certify.
Ah, that is nice. Well, really, it does benefit the homeowners, it benefits the whole neighborhood, and all of our native animals. So really, if you want more information about this, please go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to their website and you can get involved today. Well, thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Enjoy a summer of art and color. Visit the Oregon Garden for Art in the Garden, now through September 30th. Sponsored by Capital Subaru. See over a dozen pieces of outstanding and inspired art that represent both traditional and modern styles, carefully placed throughout the garden. A series of related workshops will also be featured during this event. For details on Art in the Garden and a schedule of events, go to OregonGarden.org.
Little Baja is your source for a whole lot of terracotta and concrete too. From bird baths and benches to Buddhas, bears, and fountains, plus the exclusive Baja chimney, we have an amazing variety of the finest in terracotta and concrete containers. Come check out our selection of statuary for any garden theme or setting. So for something for the garden, deck, or patio, come see us at Little Baja on East Burnside in Portland. Find us on Facebook too.
Well, I'm with Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden. So Brian, where are we? It's beautiful here.
This is heaven on earth for me. This is one of my favorite places as a child and as an adult to come to. This is, we're on our main farm, which is about a mile from our retail location. This is where my grandmother still lives.
Oh.
And we call this area the gooseneck because the farm goes right along the Pudding River. And so this area comes around and forms like a big gooseneck.
And these trees are just loaded with peaches, and I love peaches, so it is peach time.
It is peach time, and it's kind of been a weird year because people are trying to figure out, well, you know, some things are early, some things are late, and I guess what I want people to know is it is time to can your peaches right now.
Okay, oh my gosh.
Because peaches, we had a beautiful April, we had a beautiful May, and then the weather kind of tried to figure out what it was going to do for June and July. It felt like it kind of went back to the old days. So, but the peaches got pollinated in the spring. They were started way earlier than normal, and we have a wonderful crop of peaches this year, but they're early. Normally you can wait till Labor Day to do your canning.
Not this year.
No.
And so when we come in to pick out canning peaches, what do we look for?
Peaches, for the most part, are kind of divided into two sections. You have what they call freestone peaches, and what that means is when you go to slice it, it's going to pop right off the pit, which is great if you're canning because
Makes it easier.
The other option is clean stone. They're going to stick to the pit, so it makes a big mess.
It does.
So you want to know, is this a freestone peach or is this peach going to stick to the pit? And so we have several different varieties available right now at the farm that are just going to pop right off the pit.
Oh, it makes it so much easier.
Yes.
So much easier.
And it's hard because I know a lot of people, you know, you kind of have traditions. This happens over Labor Day weekend or you wait till later in the spring. And this year, you just don't have that luxury.
Brian, when we come into the store, I know there's some etiquette about picking the right peach. So what is that?
It's very kind of nerve-wracking when I see people come in and start looking at peaches because, so like we'll grab one of these off the tree here.
Oh, it looks lovely.
And your instant reaction when you see a peach is you want to grab it and pinch it and push down. And oh, if it's nice and soft, it's ready to go. Well, the problem is a couple people push down, oh, that one's not for me. Within an hour, the peach bruises.
Destroyed.
It's destroyed. It's not going to look good. So how do you go through and find the right one? And the key is to gently pick it up kind of with the palm of your hand and don't use your fingertips and roll it over to the top. And you can see this peach still has a little touch of green to the top. This is the last place for it to ripen. And if this part of the peach is nice and golden and beautiful color to it, no green, it's ready to go.
Brian, what happens if there is a little bit of green?
Well, For me, actually, I prefer a little bit of green because they're going to continue to ripen on your counter at home. Just set them out on the counter. And that way, I mean, if everything's all ripe, I'm like eating peaches like mad for a day. But if there's a little bit of green on them, I think it's nice because then it gives me a couple days.
Well, you know, in the store, in the bakery, and in the slushies, you have all kinds of peach flavors, but you have one new thing that's going on, and so we're going to go over to the store and see that new surprise.
Let's check it out.
Now I am in the Bauman Farm and Garden store, and I'm with Christine. And Christine, you are actually the cider maker in one of the Bauman family.
Yes, I am.
And so we were just with Brian in the peach orchards, and you have done something really special with that lovely fruit.
Yes, I have. They said make some peach cider.
Ooh.
So that's part of the fun of being here on the farm, is being able to use whatever's fresh and ripe at the time. So I've made 3 different kinds of peach cider for today and for the season. So this one that we'll taste first is just fresh peaches and a base cider. So it's nice and fresh. I think it's a lot like a Bellini, you know, with champagne and peaches, and so nice and simple. Peaches are hard to get their flavor into a bottle, by the way.
Well, it's very lovely and it's liquid.
They are not as intense, you know. They're just it's a subtle fruit to eat. Just a little bit of sunshine in your glass.
Very tasty. Okay,
So
now we have a second one here.
The next one we'll do is has peach. I take whole fresh peaches and I slice them and chop them, and then I steep them in cider, and then I threw in just a splash of raspberry juice. So you taste the raspberry, and I ferment that all together. So it's cider with peach and raspberries
Ooh,
added.
it smells really nice too.
Yeah,
Lovely and pretty colors.
Pretty colors.
And then, we have a third
the final one was a little more long term. This is a barrel aged. It's a barrel aged base cider with some obsidian blackberries, and then I added the peach, like a peach puree that I spiced peaches, like I baked peaches with cinnamon and nutmeg and sugar, and then pureed them and then stuck them in there and strained it out.
Oh wow, you can taste the spice too. It tastes really nice.
Yeah. All right, so you've tasted 3 different styles, 3 different peach ciders. What are your favorites, Judy?
I like this one with the spice. What's this one?
Oh, the barrel aged with the peach, and gosh, now I need to come up with a name for it.
Oh, well, the one with the spice.
Peach barrel aged.
Well, I chose it too.
You did.
I like the spice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really unique.
You're sure a sophisticated crowd. I'm not that I didn't think you were sophisticated. I didn't think that would be the choice because it's more complicated. It's a complicated cider. It's got a lot going on with the oak and stuff in the barrels.
I should try it again.
Christine, everybody has a chance to come out and try all these lovely ciders.
That's right. So if you come out today, the 13th, we'll have all 3 of these on tap, and you can pick your favorite. And then the favorite that is chosen by the most, we will carry through the summer.
Well, that is really fun to do. So you have to come out to Bauman's, pick up your peaches, and come and try the cider and pick your favorite one. Thanks so much. It's lovely. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
They had to take the car, they had to get it open with the jaws of life, take me out on a backboard, took me to a Trauma 1 center. I absolutely feel like the Subaru saved my life.
Well, we trust Capital. We trust our salesperson here, Jackie.
Jackie's great. I believe that she really cares about us.
She teaches me about the Subaru.
Our way on the Parkway.
A destination farm and garden market featuring the very best each season has to offer. Smith Berry Barn offers seasonal farm fresh fruits and vegetables and specialty herbs and perennials. Visit the historic barn for distinctive gifts, gourmet foods, and homemade milkshakes. Right now we have fresh picked or pick your own berries ready in our fields. Here's what we have to offer this week. Centrally located off of Shoals Ferry Road between Sherwood and Hillsborough, Smith Berry Barn, growing good taste from the ground up.
I'm standing with Jim from the Regional Water Providers Consortium, and you know, Jim, one of the things we like to do on Garden Time is really talk about the entire garden, and a big portion of gardening is the way we use water. And you guys do a great job of educating us, but we're going to take it a little step further today and talk about let me get it right, evapotranspiration, ET, right?
Evapotranspiration.
Evapo, I was
yes.
so close. Now tell me what that is.
Evapotranspiration, plants, much like us, we sweat.
Sure.
Plants sweat also, and that's called transpiration. So they're losing water. That's what leads them to wilt and die if they lose too much water. The soil can also evaporate, or does evaporate water, as the sun hits it and wind conditions happen. So the combination of water being lost through the plants sweating out water and the soil evaporating the water is evapotranspiration.
And I think so many times we think about the sun, we think about heat, but we forget the wind aspect, which really can it devastates plants if it's really windy, and then you add heat, it can take a lot of moisture from them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit then about what different things need, because a lawn needs a different amount than, let's say, a tree or a shrub or any of that stuff. And you've got some ways to measure water that I think is really smart and give us a baseline of how long it takes to get certain amounts of water in our garden. Mm-hmm. What is this little golden cup here?
This little golden cup is a quick and easy way to figure out what we like to talk about is watering in inches of water per week.
Yeah.
And so when you're setting an irrigation schedule for your lawn or for your plants, doing it in inches is a good way to do it. And what we recommend is, on average, a typical lawn here in our area needs about 1 inch of water per week.
Okay.
And so that doesn't mean a lot to most people until you grab something like this cup. You'll put it out in the lawn, set your timer, run your individual sprinkler, because all sprinklers are different. It could be different pressure at your house. It could be a different hose type.
So you could be running a dishwasher or a washing machine too, and that could change the pressure.
Exactly. So all these factors can change it. So put this out in your lawn, turn your sprinkler on, time how long it takes to fill up to the 1 inch mark. When it gets to that 1 inch mark, let's say it's 60 minutes.
Yeah.
That would be 60 minutes per week that you would need to run that sprinkler to get your average watering schedule of 1 inch per week.
And does that mean that it is you don't have to do it all at one time? Can you spread it out, or does it need to be an hour a week, or can you do like 2 30-minute sections a week?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you ran on most lawns, if you ran it for an hour, you'd probably just have runoff, and you're not getting that water to go down deep to the root zone where you want it. So break that 60 minutes up into probably like 2 days a week is going to be good. Maybe in the summer you might want to run 3 days a week.
Yeah.
But typically twice a week at 30 minutes would get you your 1 inch per week.
Well, now you have an example here, and let's go down here and look at this. You're going to show us, because visuals mean so much more, what evapotranspiration means, and give us an example here. Explain what you're going to do.
Okay, so we were talking about evapotranspiration as the plants are losing water through sweating and the soil is losing water through evaporation.
Yeah.
And so these jars are kind of a good model. Basically, this is what you're doing when you irrigate in your landscape. So we kind of think of our landscape as a big bucket or a jar.
Okay.
And so this is our landscape. There's water in the soil and in the plants. Every week, due to weather conditions, we're losing water to the atmosphere.
Okay.
And so we've lost water, and every week when you're irrigating or you're using your sprinkler system, the goal, ideally, is to put back the water that was lost.
Okay.
And that's typically what you want to do. What's going to happen in most cases where people are overwatering is this is a sprinkler system, and they're just putting extra water through the landscape that doesn't need to be there.
Okay. It's just wasting it.
It's just wasting water.
And the whole thing with knowing how much water you use, what your pressure is, what the plants require, you can find all that out by going to a website, can't you, if you live in the Portland, Vancouver area?
Yeah, so once you've went through and you found out how long your sprinkler takes to get 1 inch of water per week, go to our website at conserveh2o.org. Every Thursday we post a weekly watering number, and that weekly watering number changes as the weather changes. So it may be more 1 week when it's hot and less during the spring and the fall.
Sure.
At that website, you'll get that number, and you can use that to program or set your watering schedule so that you're not overwatering.
So it's just another great tool to help maintain your gardens. Mm-hmm. Well, we love gardens, obviously. We're Garden Time, but we want you to get the best use of the water that is here, because we love the Northwest. We want it to be green, but we want to use it wisely. So for more information, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website, and you can start making your garden beautiful this summer. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks.
You know, we all love our pets, but unfortunately what they do when they go out into the yard and go to the bathroom, they often leave brown spots. Our tip of the week is, what do you do to get rid of those? Now, some people say you can put tomato juice in their food, but we would recommend talking to your vet before you put anything into your dog food. The easiest thing is just get your garden hose. As soon as they go to the bathroom, just dilute the urine down, and that'll keep it from turning brown. If it's too late and it's already turned brown, you can throw a little extra grass seed on there and that'll take care of it. But keeping your grass nice and green, even with your pets, that's our tip of the week.
Welcome to Drake's, not your ordinary garden center. Grab a cup of coffee at Antonio's and wander the nursery for the perfect plant. Check out the landscape design showrooms for ideas, then meet with a designer. Come pick out a bouquet of flowers for dinner or for that someone special. Find something distinctive for your home or your garden. Imagine the possibilities and let Drake's turn them into realities. Drake's 7Ds on Southwest Shoals Ferry Road in Portland.
Standard TV and Appliances, the place to buy luxury appliances and more.
I agree. At Standard, I got the best selection, best price, and the best service.
Standard carries top brands like Wolf, Sub-Zero, Decor, Genair, GE, and KitchenAid with great deals on washers, dryers, ranges, and more.
Shopping at Standard is a slam dunk.
Setting the standard since 1947, Standard TV and Appliances.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
So I'm out here at Red Pig Tools and I'm with Bob Denman, and you know, Bob, you have so much history along with the tools out here and so many stories about where things came from, so I thought it'd be interesting to find a couple of things that are laying around here and you give us a story on like the names of them and what they're actually used for, like this jewel right here.
Oh, this is one of the most appropriately named tools in the garden tool shed. This tool is called a lightning rod pruner.
It sounds dangerous, just the name alone.
And this tool is used to prune Christmas trees.
Well, that doesn't sound
because
scary.
When you take a head shear, you have to do a lot of contorting, and it makes the work really hard. This you can stand back, and it's basically a head shear on the end of a pole with this slide action pruning, so you can trim it, and you can hold it at an angle or work sideways to the tree and prune them effectively. Now, I always wondered why it was called the lightning rod. And then a few years ago, when I was tearing down the building, the barns that I used to build this store, I was sitting on top of the roof on a beautiful day. And I was removing nails from this sheet metal roof with a crowbar. And I was looking out over the Clackamas River Valley. This was high above Estacada. And it was gorgeous. And off in the distance, you could see storms. But above me, it was just crystal clear, not a cloud in the sky above me. And just as I was thinking how fortunate I was to be able to work on this day while other people were having to hide from the storms, I heard this incredible noise. Boom! Lightning struck about 50 feet from me.
And you were still up on the metal roof.
I was on that metal roof, and with a crowbar in my hand, the highest thing around. And I leapt from this building. I was on top of a barn. I jumped to the side, and I went down the ladder with two hands, never letting my feet hit the rungs. And I ran inside the barn. And as I was going down that ladder, I thought, and that's why it's called the lightning rod pruner.
because wouldn't be up high with
all around me were Christmas trees. The whole field. This was a Christmas tree farm. And I thought, aha. So that's the story behind the lightning rod pruner.
Well, and there's also this is just an odd It looks like a little rake that got misformed, but there's a story behind this as well.
Oh yes, this is a tool that was made until recently in the United States.
Really?
And about the last one to make it was a company in Monticello, Iowa, Yoho. Was Yeoman Tools. They made this, and it was originally from England, and they still make them and use them in England. It's called a daisy rake.
Really?
Now in England, daisies are a lawn pest, and the English are extremely particular about their lawns, and so this tool will slide across a lawn and it will move through the grass, but any broadleaf weed like a daisy will be ripped out.
Okay.
And so they use it for removing daisies. Now, some time back, I got a call from a fellow, and he wanted to know if I had a tool for removing violets from his lawn. And I said, "What for? That sounds rather beautiful." And he said, "Well, a lawn should be green and nothing else, no other color." And at one time, the American Garden Society that was issued a bulletin that said that there should only be one color in a lawn, green. That's it.
Well, there you go.
Well, he believed them. So he said, "I want to get those things out, these violets." I said, "Well, I have a tool that will do it. It's called a daisy rake. It's from England, and it will take them out and remove them quite readily without damaging your grass." He said, "Good. How much is it?" And I said, went and got one. I looked on it, and the price said $40. So I told him it's $40. And he said,
"Not a bad price."
Not a bad price for a tool like this, solving a problem that you have that is unique. And I'm the only one in the United States who has one. And he said, because this is a refurbished tool.
Sure.
Yeah, they're only refurbished now. And he said, "Well, do you have anything cheaper?"
Oh, bless his heart.
So I said, "Yes, I do. I will sell you for $1.50 a packet of daisy seeds." And you take the daisy seeds, and then you go get a bottle, and you go, out of your kitchen. That will cost you nothing. You go to a Catholic or an Episcopal church. Inside the door will be holy water, and you take some holy water, and they won't arrest you or anything.
No,
you
not
won't
at
get in
all.
trouble for taking holy water. And you put it in the little bottle, and you bring it back, and then you spread the daisy seeds where the violets are, and you sprinkle the holy water on it, and say, "I baptize thee a meadow," and enjoy it.
And just enjoy. Well, let me tell you, there is actually a story for every tool, and if you want to find out what those were, and here's some of them that don't even exist anymore, you can always come out to Red Pig Tools. Go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the website. Bob, always a joy. Thank you, my friend.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching today, and thanks to Bauman's for letting us hang out and taste all these delicious ciders.
Now remember, today is the tasting day, so come on out here to where they're serving the ciders. You can taste all these different flavors. Now, Judy and I both really love this one. It was ours. However, you get to make the choice on which one they're going to serve till the end of summer. So come out, make that choice, and let them know.
So for more information about this or anything you saw on today's show, please go to gardentime.tv.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.